Shalom. Let me get straight into this lesson, but I got a lot to get to on this one. It's kind of going to be a continuation from the lesson I did yesterday, proving that the so-called white people today are they true ethnicity is Edomites. And they've been running from this, and a lot of them are very ignorant to this because of all the lies and all the spells in this place. So what you're looking at, before I get too deep into this lesson, I'm going to show you something. This is the United States military branches, they all have the eagle, as the mascot. That's not by coincidence. You go into if you're looking straight up at this picture to the left, to the top, you have the United States Air Force, which is the eagle. You have the United States Army, which is the one in the middle, is the eagle. You have the United States Marine Corps, the eagle. The United States Navy, the eagle. Go to the presidential seal, a eagle. You go to all the um, governmental buildings is built the same way, and they have an eagle in a lot of cases perched upon them. Why is this? Because these are the Edomites. I'm going to prove this to you. A leopard don't change his spots. The Lord will give us evidence so we can see who these people were today. And why is this so important to understand this? Because the Edomites control the world, and they play a major role in prophecy. So we have to identify and tell you who they are, what are they doing today, so on and so forth. Let's go here. Get all into this lesson. So I got some screenshots. Matter of fact, let's go here. I'm going to show you this. Look at this. This is all from Petra. But Petra is another word, another term for Mount Seir. They call it Petra today, but the ancient name is Mount Seir. And Mount Seir is where the Edomites are from. This is their homeland. This is where they originated from. What you have today with them branching off into these different countries, is them migrating, colonizing, and thus you have the Edomites that run the world today in great wickedness, and they keep the people in confusion, and they give you a watered down education that's full of lies. So let me go here. So I'm gonna play this um, part out of this documentary, and I advise you, brothers and you sisters, right here. I don't want to play the video. That's why I just screenshotted the um, the documentary picture. But this is the name of the video right here, Petra Hidden Origins. So you need to go watch this whole documentary. It's 5 parts to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play 26, 26 minutes into this documentary. About 20. Let me go. Let me see. Inside the museum. So about 26 minutes. This is Moabite looking guy right here that's narrating. He's doing a documentary. So into this documentary, he's gonna make something that really stood out to me. It really grabbed my attention. And I was like, wow, that's heavy. Let me bring this out into the brothers and the sisters because this is very important what he said. He made an observation by him touring the artifacts of Petra, which is Mount Seir. He's going to make an observation. Listen up.
Relics that reveal a spectacular, unexpected leap in the Nebatean story.
And they try to say the Nebateans because they're trying to hide the Edomites. These are Edomites. And I'm going to show you the more pictures of them. The Nabateans is some stuff they throw in there. The Nabateans, I think they came a little bit after that. But this is the so-called white people homeland. This is where they're from. They're not from the Caucasus Mountains. A lot of you Jakes think that came later on down the road.
Finely carved statues that look ancient Greek and Roman.
You heard what he said? They said they look ancient Greek and Roman. Back that up one more time for you.
A spectacular, unexpected leap in the Nebatean story. Finely carved statues that look ancient Greek and Roman.
Finely carved statues. I'm going to show you what he's talking about. Because I even screenshotted the subtitle. This is where he's at in this documentary. And this is what he's showing when he said this. These are so-called white people. If you're looking at this, you would think you're looking at ancient Greek and ancient Rome with the statues and so on and so forth, how they're the presentation. That's why he said that. He said that unconsciously because he don't know about this. He don't know the Edomites are so-called white people. He said that because he just went off what he knew. This guy is somewhat of a historian, so he would know the makeup of the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans, statues and the architecture and so on and so forth. So as he said this is what he saw. I even got it screenshotted so you can see the subtitle. It says finely carved statues that look like ancient Greek and Roman. These are Edomites. The first Edomite empire was the Greeks. Alexander the Creep, they call him the Great, was the devil, was an Amalekite. If you track his lineage, he was a Macedonian. Macedonians goes back into the book of Esther. And that'll be a whole nother lesson. He was from the seed of Amalek. Amalek was Esau great grandson or grandson. I haven't went over their history in a minute, but these are Amalekites, the rulership of the Greek Empire, and these were all Edomites. That's why everything looks the same. If you're looking at this right here, this is actually from Mount Seir. You would think you're looking at ancient Greek and ancient Rome, and you transport all these images in the United States. You go to Washington, what's that, Capitol Hill. You're gonna see the same architecture, the same idols, the same uh, um, visuals that you would see in ancient Greek, ancient Rome, and Mount Seir. It's all the same because it's the same people. That's a big context clue to know who they were today. We have to identify the Edomites because they are major. It's all about Esau, the Edomites, and Jacob. These are the two in this big movie that got called Life. These are the two main characters. If you was watching the movie on screen, you would have to know who the main characters are to understand the movie. This movie that's playing out that we call Life, these are the two main characters. Esau, Edom, the Edomites, and Jacob, Yaquab, the Israelites. This is what the whole movie is about. Everything else is just sideshow. So look at this. This is unrefuted proof that these are the Edomites. You go here. Check this out. Look at the Greek. They got an obsession with the eagle because the eagle it's a marriage with the Edomites. It says right here, the Greek. You have the eagle right there. When you go back to my lesson I did yesterday with Mount Seir, the mountain of Seir, you see how they had the eagles that broke off, or they broke them off. That was the first establishment of the eagle in Edom, Edomites. That's why you see it everywhere you go. Like look at Harley Davidson, the eagle, right? That's why you had a big obsession with these Edomites with Harley Davidson, and it goes on and on. Look at the Roman. I'm gonna get into that history with Aquila. That was a Roman standard for the military, and that's why you got the same standard, the same eagle that's in all the branches of the United States military, because it's the same people. On the back of a quarter, you got the eagle. See the same thing? On the back of these coins, you have the eagle in every empire, Greek, Roman, in the United States. Let's go here. And this is out this documentary right here, Edomites. These are all so-called white people. If you didn't know better, you'd think you're looking at a Greek or Rome or America. So let's go here. Let's get into some information real quick. And let's see. Let's go here. And you seeing that Greek and Roman influence in the laws and the medical system. This is what this is all going into, but I'm not going to have enough time to get into every single thing. So I'm going to get to the main point. It says United States Capitol, Supreme Court, and White House all use Roman columns and Greek symmetry, perfecting the same lineage and power and pride that began in Edom and continued through Rome. These are the same people. It's undeniable. Matter of fact, let's go here. It says, I'm going to just get straight to the point. It says the eagle is a major symbol of Esau Edom's descendants. You hear this? That's why they have set the eagle up as the national animal of America. It says representing strength, domination, and lofty pride. The average Edomite is proud. So-called white people are proud. Obadiah 1 and 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, they go that marriage with Esau Edom and the eagle. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence would I bring thee down, said Yahweh. So the Most High Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, is going to bring this kingdom down. That's why you see in the decline and a fall. People bugging out, people losing their jobs, people living in their car, people can't afford to pay rent. It's done. Rome used the eagle Aquila as its, as its imperial emblem, carried on military standards. The same thing you see in the military, United States military, on these standards, flags. Greece also used eagle symbols associated with Zeus. Later European empires and even the United States adopted the eagle to represent represent power and authority. They did it because it's a spiritual undertone to it. Not what they're saying. Let's go here. It says I'm making that connection from the United States and Greek and Rome, right? Known for temples, columns, arches, domes, and monumental cities, represents the human power and pride. Built using marble and stone, similar to Edom's rock-built strongholds in Mount Seir and Petra, the Edomite capital. It says right here, Edomite connection. Petra, ancient Edom city, is carved directly into red rock. One came out red. You can't make this up. Featuring columns and facades similar to Greek temples, showing early architecture connections. That man, that's heavy. The Hippocratic, I think the Hippocratic oath go back to Greek. The medicine system, all the terms, the Roman, the United States law goes back to Roman law. The words are the same, so on and so forth. United States Congress modeled after the Roman Senate. United States courts and juries inspired by Greek and Roman law traditions. It says Greek influence. All this has the influence on the American system. Liberal arts Salakia. Greeks founded the ideal of studying grammar, logic, rhetoric, mathematics, and philosophy. But this is not true. They stole all this stuff and repackaged it as they came up with it. It says the foundation of modern education, because the Edomites, what they'll do is steal everything else and repackage it as they the one came up with it. They've been doing this. It's not a new thing. It says legal language towards the bottom. Many American legal terms come from Latin: subpoena, habeas corpus, pro bono, verdict, justice. Greek influence, democracy. The United States draws directly from the Greek idea of democratia, ruled by the people. Ancient Athens was the first known democracy where citizens voted on laws and leaders. You hear this? The founding fathers, the founding devils, admired Greek civic participation in public debate. That's why they get you jakes all wrapped into this political system. Pick a side, Democrat or Republican, to get you under a spell, under a illusion, to get your emotions entwined in this system. Check this out. Greek inspiration, Roman architecture and art were heavily influenced by Greek styles. It says, both built temples, theaters, bathhouses to honor gods and promote community life. The same thing that goes on here today. Like I said, it goes on and on and on. But this is a spiritual thing that you're seeing manifested in the physical. And we're showing you proof who's who today so you can know how to navigate these end of these days, right? Because we're at the end times. And you have to be told what's going on. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Brachat, Kodash. Shalom.